Thank you, Dan. Good evening once again. Mark Warburton's time is about to come to an end in this part of West London, but Sheffield United still have work to do with a clutch of teams still on their tail, and with Fulham arriving at Bramall Lane on the final day, they really need 3 points here today. Otherwise, those in pursuit could have a very good day tomorrow. A reminder of the two teams. We'll start with Sheffield United. As we heard from Paul Heckingbottom before kick-off, Billy Sharp could be out for weeks rather than days with his injury, another calf problem. He was on the bench, of course, last week, so it's an unchanged team from the one which beat Cardiff by a 0-0. Fotheringham in goal, Basham, Egan and Robinson the back three, Osborne and Stevens in the wide area, with Norwood and Fleck at the base of midfield, and Berger and Gibbs-White supporting Ndiaye in attack. Changes for Queen's Park Rangers. Their injury problems have really bitten in the second half of the season, and they've contributed hugely to their major drop-off in form. Kieran Westwood unavailable for this game, so yet another change in goal, with Murphy Mahoney, the youngster, returning. And also in the back three, Johan Barbe is unavailable due to a knee injury, so we believe that Sam Field will drop in. That applause you can hear is for Mark Warburton as he makes his way out towards the technical area, and the home crowd here really responding, and there is a banner on the far side amongst the Queen's Park Rangers fans saying "Keep Warbs," which tells you all they need to know. The rest of their team this evening is Mahoney in goal, Sanderson, Dunn and Field the back three, Adoma and McCallum in the wide areas, Dazelle and Johansson in midfield, with Amos and Cher supporting Austin in attack. And it's Queen's Park Rangers who are about to get underway here on a grey, chilly but dry evening in West London. Many of the players across the field taking the knee before kick-off. Peter Banks is our referee, and it's Rangers who get the game underway, attacking the school end away to our right in the first half, and it's filled up considerably in the 10 minutes or so before kick-off. Not quite full though for the Sheffield United fans making the journey down from South Yorkshire to West London on a Friday evening, and you have to say that the home areas are rather sparsely populated, but that's often been the case here. But the entrance of Mark Warburton has really created an atmosphere, and the home supporters inside the stadium are making plenty of noise in the opening moments as Sheffield United in their red and white stripes look to build on the far side, playing from right to left as we look out from the back of the main stand here. But it's out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Queen's Park Rangers. David Connell.
Yeah, and it does look like it is a back three, and for QPR with Adoma raiding down the right-hand side with his paces. Sanderson, right side centre-half, just about to put him in.
Long forward, looking for the run on this near side of Amos, but in the end the ball is cleared by the Blades. But here is Sanderson, one of a number of loanees in this team, wide to the far side, a high diagonal ball which is cut out by Ben Osborne, who almost turns into the peroxide topped Charlie Austin, but it's cleared downfield once again on this near side for Queen's Park Rangers. Nearly 90 seconds played here at the Kai and Prince Foundation Stadium on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL, and at the start of another massive weekend of football. This a key game for the Blades in the playoff chase. Mathematically, Queen's Park Rangers still have a chance of making the postseason, but it really stretches the bounds of credibility to believe they will be in the top six at around 2:30 next Saturday. As Berger comes forward now for Sheffield United down their right, low cross in towards the near post, it's cleared as far as Osborne, back out towards Gibbs-White on the edge of the penalty area. Norwood careers into a challenge, tries to strike it towards goal, but it's eventually blocked by Dazelle. The ball spins up to the halfway line, and Robinson goes all the way back to Wes Fotheringham defending the Sheffield United goal away to our right.
Yeah, they've started well here, Sheffield United, really calm, confident in possession, moving it around, Gibbs-White buzzing all over the pitch, stretching the play from right to left, and a good start.
And Sheffield United with everything to play for here, 2 points clear of Middlesbrough in the final playoff place. They have a home game against Fulham next week. Middlesbrough are at home to Stoke and away to Preston. Blackburn and Millwall are also 3 points behind them, still in the race. Tomorrow Blackburn are at home to Bournemouth, and Millwall play already relegated Peterborough. Luton, of course, know a victory tomorrow or on Monday at Fulham will virtually guarantee them a playoff place along with Forest and Huddersfield. But the scramble to complete the top six could go to the final day, but Sheffield United will have the opportunity to maybe take care of business with help from elsewhere if they win here tonight. But a high bouncing ball into the penalty area had John Egan struggling there with Elias Chair in the vicinity, but Fodringham does well to come out and claim.
Yeah, just a long ball cleared over the top, and Elias Chair is always going to lose out in that situation against Egan. Just like Elias Chair, just in behind Charlie Austin, supporting him up front. He's just playing on his own, Austin.
Austin with 14 games without a goal since an injury time effort which beat West Bromwich Albion here on the 15th of January. And he is another player who may be wondering what the future holds. Played wide to this near side by Ender Stevens for Sheffield United, and they have played the more constructive football so far. Of course, they have the more settled team coming into this game, and Queen's Park Rangers, I'm sure in the final analysis, will look back on the injury problems they've had, notably Chris Willock, who has just been crowned as their player of the year, but his injuries in the closing weeks of the season have really hampered their goal output from midfield. Now Basham wide on the right hand side for Sheffield United, down the line for Osborne, early cross into the penalty area, and it's chested behind at the near post by Field, and it will be the first corner for Sheffield United down their right.
Yeah, they've worked well so far, you know, Sheffield United, especially getting in behind QPR's left back area. Got to the byline a couple of times and put two good balls in, and obviously this is where they got a goal last time they faced QPR. Really clever set piece. Got another one from the same side.
On that occasion it was Ollie Norwood who scored the only goal, but it's a high corner towards the far post. Basham was leaping and he diverts the ball behind, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, they went route one this time. Lofted ball towards the back post up to Basham, got his head on it, couldn't direct it towards goal.
Chris Basham hasn't scored since a winner at Ellen Road against Leeds back in March of 2019, when Sheffield United were on their way into the Premier League. But the shape which was developed by Chris Wilder has been generally retained by Paul Heckingbottom. They were 16th Sheffield United when he was appointed. He was given a long-term contract, having rather strangely been the interim manager during their relegation season in the Premier League, but then overlooked when Slaviša Jokanovic got the job. But he's guided the team up the table into the playoff places, but away from home recently they've had real problems. 6 without a win on their travels since a 2-1 success at Birmingham back on February the 4th.
Well, a couple of things QPR have done well here so far. When the ball's gone out for a throw with either wing-back, they've managed to throw it towards the other centre-back on the other side of the pitch really well. They obviously worked out that Sheffield United leave that little space to throw the ball into, and they've got out and attacked down the opposite flank really well.
Interestingly, Mark Warburton has just been called over by a Queen's Park Rangers supporter by the technical area beneath us, and he went over to have a word, and the Queen's Park Rangers fan shook his hand and said thanks very much, which rather epitomised the current mood around this stadium. You have to say, David, not just because there's a banner on the far side, but you don't hear many Queen's Park Rangers fans who are saying great, right decision.
Well, I think you will hear some that will, you know, they'll cite, I guess, where Rangers were, you know, sort of January time. What were they, end of January 4th, couple of points off, game in hand, and they'll look at some performances. Peterborough a couple of times, Cardiff, the Preston, Barnsley performances. You know, confidence has ebbed away from the players, with opportunity missed. I think a lot of them will look at it like that, or certainly some do.
Cher chasing a long ball forward, and it's gone beyond him and Egan now to play, and it will be a goal kick. 7 minutes played here on TalkSport 2, goalless at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium. Maybe I'm getting long in the tooth, but I often try and have a bit of perspective now and look at what they've done over the course of their time in charge, rather than maybe in the short term. But of course, it's a results business, and Queen's Park Rangers have not got enough of them recently. They were 2 points behind Bournemouth at the end of January, but only 3 wins in their last 16. and now they're 16 points behind them, and the reality is they won't be in the playoffs.
No, good move here from Sheffield United. Ollie Norwood picked the ball up, spotted the run of Sanderberg right through the middle of the pitch, got in behind QPR, but just a little bit too much pace on the through pass. That was unlucky. I mean, Berg will make those runs, those third-man runs from midfield all day long.
Queen's Park Rangers defending a throw-in on the far side. It's into Sanderberg, and then cleared away by McCallum. Austin's got time to turn and find Sanderson, who looks to his right. He's got Adoma making the run in behind Ender Stevens, but Adoma just checks, and in the end it's cleared away up towards the halfway line for Sheffield United once again. Here is Stefan Johansson sporting the ponytail. Poor ball forward from him, but Egan, or rather Basham, almost gives it back to Elias Chair. But here is John Egan once again, who has played every single minute for Sheffield United this season. His back pass forcing Foderingham to scramble, and as a result Queen's Park Rangers almost win it back on the edge of the penalty area. Robinson goes tumbling under the challenge of Austin, but Queen's Park Rangers have a throw-in on this near side.
Well, they've given the ball away now, Rangers, 4 times in a row under really limited pressure, and that's where I guess the frustration will come as well from the fan. Sanderson travelling with the ball as the outside sort of centre half. He thinks, right, shall I give this to Adoma? By the time he does, it's far too late. It's intercepted, goes up to Austin, he loses possession. Too many turnovers here for Rangers.
And this is a Rangers team without Willock, Adebayo and Dickey, to name 3 key players who have been unavailable in the run-in. And almost the spine of the team, Johan Barbe, also unavailable here as Austin goes down under the challenge of Robinson. Nothing given this time.
Well, they're not going to get anything from this either, Nigel, because nothing from the ref or from Sheffield United, because, you know, if they're going back to Mahoney and he's just going to boot it, I mean, that is food and drink for that Sheffield United back line. You know, Charlie Austin, all he's doing is looking at the back unit, or he's looking at Robinson. Every time the ball's in the air, he's got his eyes on Robinson, eyes on Egan, thinking, well, I'm not really going to win this, and it's just, you know, dropping down, Sheffield United then gaining possession and just dominating. They got to either, you know, that comes back to how they play. Are they going to play their way out, you know, and really force it and believe in that, or just go back to front and not retain the ball?
10 minutes played, 0-0, flag up for offside against Morgan Gibbs-White, and it will be a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers. Neither goalkeeper has been really worked so far. Big night here for Murphy Mahoney, his home debut. He joined Queen's Park Rangers in the under-10s, was also a ball boy here, and he played recently in the 2-1 defeat at Preston, but this his first match at the Kine Prince Foundation Stadium. Again he goes long. Adoma leaps with Stevens, but Stevens' header drops to Austin. Now Adoma again, finding Amos, who does well to turn and find Chair. Chair, though, is crowded out by the combined challenge of Basham and Berg, and it's all the way back towards West Foderingham. Ball not too far from here in Hammersmith, and he was also in the Fulham Academy before moving on, and he's really found a home at Sheffield United this season with 17 clean sheets.
Well, the ball's going back to Mahoney an awful lot, and this is where, you know, you got to either believe in how you're playing or not, and at times Rangers think, it's not really on, we'll go in behind, and this is a little bit better from them.
Despite Dan Wendell's misgivings, the away end now is virtually full.
So fickle, isn't he? Quick to jump on anything.
Well, anyone trying to get here within an hour of kick-off knows how bad the traffic is with Westfield Centre across the road. And
I heard some of the, you know, away sort of media and staff saying we had a great journey till we got to London. That's exactly it.
Here is Robinson on this near side. And now Egan will find Basham, and with only Charlie Austin to mark, the central defenders should have licence to overlap here this evening for Sheffield United. And Robinson will try and do that now on this near side there left. In towards John Fleck. Stevens is on his bike down the left as well. Undai is waiting on the edge of the penalty area. It's back towards Stevens. Here is Fleck again. And now Robinson with a low ball in to find Undai, twisting and turning towards the byline. The challenge comes in from Dunn. It almost dropped towards Fleck inside the penalty area. Now Robinson has it. Back towards Fleck again. And Sheffield United being very deliberate here. Berger turning infield. It could open up here for Sander Berge, deep inside the 6-yard area, but the cross is blocked, and then the shot fizzed in by Stevens, and it was deflected over the top, and Sheffield United have a corner.
Yeah, they just got QPR pegged back in their box there, and they were afraid to make a challenge in case they give away a penalty. In the end, a little space opened up for Berger, drove into it, and in the end, his first shot is blocked, came back to Ender Stevens. He laced this, and it's a good block in the end.
Corner kick on this near side for Sheffield United. 13 minutes played on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. We have all the thrills and spills from League One coming up from 11:30 tomorrow with Dan Wendell in the chair, and our commentary game is a huge one at both ends of the table. Gillingham against Rotherham.
Well, this is interesting as well, Nigel. They've surrounded Mahoney in goal because he's probably, 6 foot, maybe 6'1" at most, Mahoney, and they've just tried to crowd him out here with their tall players, Sheffield United. About 4 or 5 of them in and around him on the goal line.
And Mahoney is blocked off as the corner is flicked on at the near post, but it goes all the way out on the far side off a Queen's Park Rangers head, and it will be a throw into the Blades. Applying some pressure here with 14 minutes played on TalkSport 2, and the towel has been used on the far side by Jack Robinson, and he is looking to make the most of very little room on the far side, leaning into the barriers, hurls it in towards the near post. Rising to head the ball away is McCallum. Norwood back out again towards Robinson. Austin's clearance clatters into Fleck, but now it's played long downfield, looking for Elias Chair, but it's played back by Stevens towards Fodringham with a rather firmly hit back pass, but Fodringham is able to deal with that. Sanderson seemed to be holding down and die as the ball went over their heads, but Dunn gathers for Queen's Park Rangers on this near side. And Sheffield United, the more proactive side so far, of course, with more to play for. Here is Norwood finding Fleck, good ball from him to pick out Gibbs White, attacking the penalty area, coming infield, finding Ndai, back towards Gibbs White again. He backheels it back towards Ndai, and he had an overload to the right hand side there, Morgan Gibbs White, but went for the frippery, the back heel infield towards Ndai, but the options went the other way.
Yeah, nice play though, those two. Really bright when they go into the front. But this all comes from just, QPR lofting a ball up to Charlie Austin in the air and saying, go on, get hold of that. I mean, he's got no chance. I mean, Robinson's won every header so far, 90% of his headers, and it's just so difficult for QPR. I think Charlie is just shrugging his shoulders there and saying, well, what do you want me to do up here? I mean, every time there's a ball in the air, he is going to lose, I would say, 99% of them.
And you're listening to Queen's Park Rangers against Sheffield United in the EFL Championship, live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's Fun Football. Search McDonald's Fun Football to find out more. And
I guess, look, if you had Lyndon Dykes, you could bang it up to him to help you get up the pitch, but with Elias Chair and Austin, it's going to keep coming back. They've got to be really on it with their passing and their possession, and when you're on the run that they're on, QPR, that is a tough ask.
And I looked at Jordan Hugill playing at the Riverside Stadium on Monday evening for Cardiff against Middlesbrough, and of course he had a really good spell here on loan, and in January he was available. Maybe he should have been the player they brought in.
Yeah, brought back. I mean, look, they've decided not to play out. This is the first time they've had about 5 or 6 goal kicks. First time, obviously it hasn't worked, so now they're just going long again, but straight up to Austin, what happens? Loses the header.
And Ndai is chasing again, but it's nodded back by Dunn towards Mahoney once again. William Ndai, one of the young players who has been brought into the team from non-league football. He was with Boreham Wood before getting the opportunity at Bramwell Lane. Again, Austin losing out in the air. It's not really his game. And again, he's turning around saying, look, give it me on the floor.
Well, I mean, I said this after about 2 minutes. You could see that that was just not going to work today. And nothing's changed. That is all Charlie Austin's had to deal with so far, and he's having a word. I think but that means the rest of the team, they've got to be so good, like being brave on the ball, going into midfield, getting turned, the likes of Johansson, Giselle, showing that confidence. That's why you're in the team. Get turned, play through the thirds. They're going back to front, then it's going to be a long night for Rangers.
But at the moment, they are hanging on 0-0 with 17 minutes played. Chair seemed to be taken down there by Robinson, but Queen's Park Rangers play on. quickly transferred by Austin down the line, looking for Adoma, but Basham comes across to make the challenge, and it will be a throw into Queen's Park Rangers on this near side.
Yeah, he just showed too much of that to Basham. I mean, he must have known Basham was closing from inside the pitch, covering across, and he just opened his body, didn't really look, just allowed Basham to slide in and challenge.
Sanderson had his shirt pulled as he looks to attack on this Queen's Park Rangers right, and in the end he runs out of room, it spins off him and goes behind for a goal kick to Sheffield United. Also coming up tomorrow, game day on TalkSport, live from St James's Park with Rashman Chowdhury. Newcastle against Liverpool with Sam Matterface and Mickey Gray. Gillingham against Rotherham here on TalkSport 2 on the final day of the League One regular season. Game day live with Adrian Durham. We'll have all the goals as they go in from elsewhere in the EFL and also the Premier League. Aston Villa against Norwich is our commentary game here from the Premier League on TalkSport 2 with Joe Shannon and Perry Groves. And then Leeds against Manchester City, 5:30 on TalkSport with Clive Tildesley and Trevor Sinclair alongside Faye Carruthers. It is a big day and all the angles will be covered only across the TalkSport network. And then a double header from League 2 on Bank Holiday Monday, 12:30 Salford Mansfield, 3 o'clock Port Vale Newport, and it's Fulham against Luton from the Championship at 5:15. All those games live and exclusive on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. And that's arguably a bigger game for Luton than it is for Fulham. It's Queen's Park Rangers rather chasing shadows on this near side as the Blades play their way out of trouble, but Ndiaye's ball forward doesn't find Gibbs White, and it's all the way back towards Mahoney once again. He clears down the line just in front of us, and somehow Queen's Park Rangers keep that ball in play. And Johansson spreads it wide towards Field to the left of the back three. Now Chair, a player who had such a good start to the season, of course went to the African nations with Morocco, and in the second half of the season he's not quite been there, has he? Maybe it's the players around him not giving him the options, but certainly the goals have dried up.
Yeah, certainly, and he looks a bit low in confidence. A couple of times the ball has come into him, and I think earlier in the season he would have known what was around, turned away from pressure, got out the other side, but he hasn't done that so far.
Of course, Eberici Eze was sold to Crystal Palace, and Elias Chair was seen as the next in line, and while he's played well at times and produced some memorable moments, maybe just lacking that consistency at the moment. As Gazelle plays it forward looking for Austin, but it's cut out by Basham, who then clears long downfield again, and Field will have to retreat here on the far side, the left. He'll try and shepherd the ball out of play, and eventually Morgan Gibbs-White does it for him, and it will be a throw into Queen's Park Rangers.
I think what I would do, I'd play Adoma as a central striker if I was Mark Warburton, because, you know, Basham knows he's got the better of Charlie Austin in the air and on the ground. That was a decent pass into Austin, into the channel, and really, if he had half a yard more pace, he would have been on the end of it. Instead, Basham easily got there covered, cleared the danger. I think Adoma would offer more down through the middle.
At the moment, Austin has drifted away to the left-hand side, so they're playing with a false nine, or two false nines, in Elias Chair and also Luke Amos. The Sheffield United come forward again now, and there is space on the overlap for Stevens down the left. High cross in, headed away by Dunn up towards the edge of the penalty area. The bounce of the ball defeating Fleck. But a good challenge from Adoma on this near side. Norwood tries to win it back from Johansson, and it's all very scrappy, and the longer it stays 0-0, David, Queen's Park Rangers have seen Sheffield United make a good start to this game, but we've almost got to the halfway mark in the first half, and I think there will be nerves from the visiting team.
Well, they've started very well, Sheffield United, popped it around really good. That was a nice little give and go, and in Stevens with a brilliant ball in, just cut out. But they've got different threats as well. Decent on the ground. They've got this long throw that's coming in again, imminently.
And it will be hurled in again from beneath us here on this near side. Adoma just seemed to pick up a knock off the field of play, but he's back in the 6-yard area, hurled in high again, headed away by Austin, almost fired towards goal from Gibbs White. He was closed down by Johansson. Both sets of players appeal for a throw-in, and the decision from the assistant on the far side goes Queen's Park Rangers' way.
Well, maybe he's got a better throw from the left-hand side of the pitch, Robinson, because that almost reached the far post. That was incredible throw, absolutely brilliant. Great trajectory as well.
I know it's always tight here, but it doesn't feel like a big pitch, does it?
No. But he had issues getting the ball in from the right-hand side. I don't know, I don't think it is tight on that side.
Clip forward again by Robinson, and there could be a problem here for Dunn, but he was just being fouled by Ndiaye as they both chased the ball towards the byline, and it will be a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. 23 minutes played, 0-0 here on TalkSport 2. Also coming up next week on Tuesday night, Villarreal against Liverpool, the semi-final second leg of the Champions League. And what about this one in the Championship? 7 o'clock kickoff, early start. Bournemouth against Nottingham Forest. That could be a decider for second place. Ian Danta will be alongside David for that game. Then on Wednesday, it is Real Madrid against Manchester City, live from Madrid with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend. Arsenal against Spurs from the WSL, the North London derby at the Emirates Stadium will be here on 2 with Joe Shannon and Leanne Sanderson. And then a double header on Thursday from the Europa League, Eintracht Frankfurt against West Ham on TalkSport with Sam and Dean Ashton. And I'm looking forward to heading up to Ibrox for Rangers against Leipzig alongside Charlie Adam. And both those ties really well poised for the second leg. Now Amos coming in field for Queen's Park Rangers, closed down by Fleck, so it's back towards Dunn, and now Field very deliberately wide towards the far side again, but Queen's Park Rangers are finding it hard here to make any real headway in terms of clear-cut chances. Here is Amos, who spins, but his crossfield ball is deflected into the path of John Fleck. He can break forward now into the penalty area, but Amos comes across and redeems the earlier error with an excellent challenge. And now Austin sweeps it wide to this near side for Adoma, but he was unlucky. The ball just skipped off the turf over his head on this near side, and it will be a throw-in.
Yeah, I mean, just the touch got away here from Fleck as he got close to the edge of the area. I think he was thinking about it, shall I take this on? And as he took that one extra touch just to get to the edge, it just trickled a little bit too far. That was unlucky. And then coming back to QPR as they build the play, comes into Austin, he sweeps it out wide to Adoma, but just bounces in front of Adoma and goes over his head and out for a try. I mean, the crowd give him a round of applause, but they've just got to keep hold of the ball.
Now Ndiaye once again. Good challenge sliding in from Dunn on the edge of his own penalty area, and he has released Chair at pace over the halfway line. Basham is backpedaling. Chair will look to breeze beyond him. Only Austin waiting inside the penalty area. It's crossed in, may have taken a deflection, and it's gathered by Foderingham.
Yeah, just really good defending from Basham, because he knows, Elias Chair is quick. He wasn't going to allow him on the inside, so forced him down the line, kept his feet really close together. Superb, backpedaled, knew that Chair was going to try and get the crossing, got a little touch on it and just deflected into the arms of his goalkeeper. Really good defending from Basham.
And it's back with Wes Foderingham once again. Sheffield United have kept 19 clean sheets in total in the Championship, which is the highest total, but that away form has been a real concern for them. Only 2 goals scored in their previous 6 games on the road. Sander Berger brings it forward now. Osborne just made a move to go offside, checked back, and the flag was raised, and it will be a free kick. And we have played 26 minutes, and neither goalkeeper has really had a shot to save so far. And Mahoney will spot up the free kick on the edge of the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area. And some big decisions to make for this club when Mark Warburton departs. And I think for everybody concerned, the players, the coaches, the staff, if they're going to appoint, they don't need to be hasty, but at the same time they need to do it quickly.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously you've got plans that you want to put in place. I'm sure those plans would have been with Mark in charge.
Now Gibbs White crossing in from the right-hand side for Sheffield United. Here is Fleck, who gathers the loose ball, a back heel from him, releasing Stevens, first time cross towards the far post and headed behind by a retreating Sam McCallum. It will be a corner kick.
Yeah, good play. Another really good ball in from Stevens, this time to the back post. It looked like it was going to fall to Gibbs White, just to head it back across goal, but McCallum got back in on the inside. Really good recovering clearance this is from McCallum. Superb.
And John Fleck will head across to the far side to take it. And Sheffield United creating many more possibilities in the game so far compared to Queen's Park Rangers, but we are still goalless in the 29th minute here on TalkSport 2. An in-swinger from Fleck, flicked away by Austin, but shot towards goal by Basham at the far post, and he dragged it, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, that's the second time now Basham has got on the end of a corner towards the back post area. Amazing how many times the ball does fall there.
And Sheffield United with all of the shots in the game so far, but none of those have been on target. As Andre Giselle brings it forward for Queen's Park Rangers down their left, back to Field. Chair coming short. McCallum tries to whip it down the line, but it's blocked by Osborne, and it will be a throw into Queen's Park Rangers. Andre Gray, Sam McCallum, Jeff Hendrick and Dion Sanderson will all be departing back to their parent clubs at the end of the season, and Queen's Park Rangers have 5 more players out of contract, including Johan Barbe, who has made more appearances in the Championship this season than anybody else. Albert Adoma is another one who wins a throw-in on this near side, and that's the reason they could do with a quick appointment, so that players know where they stand and don't start exploring other options. Dunn now pumps the ball wide to the far side. It's kept in play by leaping Sam McCallum. Back towards Giselle, into Chair, back towards Giselle again, and Chair then spun in behind. He was looking for the ball over the top, but Giselle not possessing that vision on that occasion. And here is Sanderson coming forward now, back towards Johansson. Amos able to turn and find Adoma, and he can look to attack Ender Stevens on this near side. Tips a high ball to the far post. Austin with the header, and Charlie Austin has scored. It's his first goal in 14 games, and after Sheffield United had dominated the opening half hour, Charlie Austin arriving at the far post, doing what he's been doing for years, and it's Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 0. It's another twist in the playoff race.
Well, this was brilliant play from Albert Adoma. I mean, he was getting really frustrated because Sanderson would never give him the ball. He kept checking out, eventually gives it to him. You know, Adoma works it down the line, fakes the delivery with his right, cuts in onto his left foot, and in the box it's a little bit different rather than open play. Just peels towards the back post area. Charlie Austin, lovely ball in swinger from Adoma with his left foot, and there's Austin, just gets across his man, heads it back where it came from, got the better of Basham that time. Brilliant header.
Charlie Austin's first goal since he scored here against his former club West Brom back on January the 15th. That helped to derail their promotion challenge, and the goal he scored here tonight could do similar for Sheffield United, because all of a sudden Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Millwall will be thinking, this could be us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, they haven't played well so far, but they won't really care. You know, give it to Adoma, as I was saying earlier, and the fans love Adoma. Get him in the team, get him wide, he will make something happen. Really good ball to the back post, and there was Austin, just peeled off into that area. Came off the blind side of Basham, and terrific downward header. Back where it came from, excellent finish.
Charlie Austin's 7th goal of the season, but he's had a long wait. He's been stuck on 6 for a long time, but he's closing down Fodringham now. And really, when you've got 3 central defenders and you are only marking Charlie Austin, it's pretty poor to give him a free header like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes with the back three you can get a little bit spread out, but you know, one thing you know, when the ball goes wide, probably the only player to keep an eye on would be Charlie Austin.
And we welcome listeners from TalkSport to the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium, where Queen's Park Rangers lead Sheffield United by a 0-0. Charlie Austin with his first goal in 15 games, heading in a cross from Albert Adoma. Sheffield United currently 2 points clear of Middlesbrough in the final playoff place, but they need to win this game to keep matters in their own hands. They have a corner on this near side which is drifted high towards the far post and glanced behind by Basham, and it will be a goal kick. David Connolly is alongside me, and to say that goal was against the run of play is an understatement.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Sheffield United started really well and had the majority of possession and attacks, but finally Rangers crafted something of note. Ball out wide to Albert Adoma, really good cross back into the air with his left foot, in swinging delivery, and Charlie Austin just got into a little bit of space at the far post, got the better of Basham. In open play, Basham has won everything, but in the penalty area it's a little bit different. Terrific header.
Sheffield United looking to build again, but it's gathered by Murphy Mahoney, the Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper. Commentary continues on TalkSport 2. 33 minutes played. It is Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 0. And Sheffield United win it back on the edge of the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area, and it's a very precise shot slid along the turf towards goal from Gibbs White, and it's a comfortable save for Mahoney.
Yeah, at least this is an attempt on target. For all their play, Sheffield United didn't really test the goalkeeper Murphy, but they give it away. Rangers work their way into the area. As you say, this sort of shot didn't really lack the power to trouble Murphy.
It's flicked on now by Gibbs White towards Ndai. Joining in is Berger. And Sheffield United, without a win in 6 away games, are behind here 11 minutes before half-time on TalkSport 2. And Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Millwall are all within striking distance of Sheffield United. They will be loving the sound of this scoreline at the moment. And Sheffield United, who have been around the top 6 in the closing weeks of the season, are now at risk of dropping out over this weekend as Berger comes forward now. He's got space for Stevens down the left-hand side. Stevens now will break into the penalty area, back towards Berger. And Berger is forced back by Chair towards the halfway line. Sheffield United have every outfield player inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. Egan wide to the far side, and Fleck on again to Osborne. Osborne runs it out of play under pressure on the far side from field, and it will be a throw in to Queen's Park Rangers. And Paul Heckingbottom standing there, arms folded beneath us, looking fairly calm at the moment, but his team are in a hole.
Yeah, well, look, he'll know this is still a long way to go. You've got to credit QPR there, because they got back into their shape really well, just plugged the gaps, and they stopped United getting in behind them, forced them backwards, and in the end stopped the attack. Really good play.
Queen's Park Rangers currently 11th in the table, which is their lowest position of the season. They were 3rd in late February, but they've kept only 1 clean sheet in their previous 16 games. So looking at that, you will think that Sheffield United will create opportunities here. And here is Fleck again, wide towards Stevens, who breaks into the penalty area down the left. The cross is blocked though by Sanderson, and it goes behind for another corner to Sheffield United down their left.
Yeah, they've had a lot of these, haven't they? Superb play here from Fleck, just gets away from Austin, and rather than play safe, he drives through the middle of midfield and slips it out wide just inside the area to Stevens. Sanderson gets across well, but it's another corner. You just think, look at the size they've got, the variation in their set plays. You just wonder whether they're going to make one of these count.
And it will be another in-swinging corner on this near side, high to the far post, and a free kick's been given before the ball hits the back of the net. There was some pushing in there, and the referee Peter Banks has given a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, it looked like McCallum was just pushed off the ball there from Robinson. That's what they gave it for. But again, they just try to put the ball in and close to the QPR goalkeeper. As I said, the variation they have in their set plays and the height, I think there'll always be a threat of them.
The situation as it stands in the race for the final playoff place: Luton have 72 points, Sheffield United have 69, Middlesbrough 67, Blackburn 66, Millwall 66, Queen's Park Rangers 66, although the goal difference for Millwall and Queen's Park Rangers could play against them between now and the end of the season. But it's very, very tight. And if Sheffield United don't win this game, it will be a very nervous Saturday and Monday, seeing how their rivals around them do. And Chris Wilder, their former manager, will have the opportunity to go above them tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, the camera's just panned to Mark Warburton, and he's puffed his cheeks out. I think he's really emotional because, he knows he wants to end out. He's a proud man, he wants to go out on a high here and come as close as they can get to those playoffs, but knowing that they have put in a couple of poor performances. I mean, the Stoke, last week at Stoke, it was awful. The first 45. Well, they've lost to Barnsley and Peterborough, haven't they, during this run? So that's the problem for them. And when you're losing to teams like that at the bottom, that's going to create real problems for you. Yeah, absolutely. Case of what might have been. I think that's... Look, he wants to go out with a win. He wants to go out on a high, but... Are they just going to fall short? Albert Adoma will take a throw-in on this near side, in towards Austin, laid back towards Adoma, but cleared downfield by Stevens. And Dunn will go all the way back to the halfway line and then back to the goalkeeper Mahoney. And there is no Billy Sharp on the bench for Sheffield United this evening with a calf injury which Paul Heckingbottom has suggested could take weeks to clear up, which could rule him out for the remainder of the season. And if they lose here tonight, the end of the season could be next Saturday. Now Adoma down the right-hand side for Queen's Park Rangers. He's challenged by Stevens, back to Johansson. Here is Chair, and the goal has really perked up Queen's Park Rangers here with 39 minutes played. They lead by a goal to nil, scored by Charlie Austin. Field playing as a central defender this evening. Well, if they could get to half-time, 1-0 up, well, they're giving it away here. They're giving the ball away to Berger. Slip through towards Ndiaye on the edge of the penalty area. Right foot shot from him on the turn, and it's over the top. Yeah, should have made more of that, United. This time it's Ndiaye with the spin on the edge and just can't quite keep his shot down. The Rangers lose possession on the halfway line. I was just going to say, if they could get through to half-time, 1-0 up, I mean, the reception that they'll get from the fans and Mark Warburton will just give them that little bit of a lift, certainly going into the second half as well. And it's a goal kick for Queen's Park Rangers. Don't forget, tomorrow on game day, Newcastle against Liverpool at 12:30. Leeds against Manchester City at 5:30. Game day live with Adrian Durham, with all the goals as they go in. Here on TalkSport 2, Gillingham against Rotherham, a key game at the top and bottom of League One on the final day of the regular season. There we have reporters at all the key games in League One. A 12:30 kick-off across the board. Aston Villa against Norwich comes up at 3 o'clock here on TalkSport 2. And then a triple header from the EFL on Bank Holiday Monday. Salford Mansfield at 12:30. That's a big game in the playoff chase, as is Port Vale against Newport. Port Vale looking to maintain their challenge for automatic promotion. And then in the Championship, it is Fulham against Luton at 5:15. Well, we haven't missed any action because Ndiaye and Elias Chair are fasting, aren't they? So they've come over to get some fluids and some food on board. Yeah, football respecting Ramadan at the moment. I was watching some of the games in the Asian Champions League a couple of days ago. They're kicking off in Saudi Arabia at 11:15 at night to allow the players who observe Ramadan to play those games in the best condition they can. This is cleared downfield again by Mahoney, and it will be a throw-in on this near side for Queen's Park Rangers. And Sheffield United have a very big 45 minutes coming up here, trailing by a goal to nil. Stevens with the back pass towards Fodringham, and he clears downfield. Gibbs White looks to knock the ball down, but in the end Sheffield United win it back anyway. Here is Berger, found by Norwood, wide towards Osborne down the right hand side. Much of the best stuff so far for Sheffield United has been with Stevens down the left, and Osborne runs into another cul-de-sac and Norwood has to go all the way back towards Fodringham.
Yeah, just as they're a little bit casual in possession, just robbed of it by Ndai. You know, he's got to know the likes of Ndai and Gibbs White are so busy and bright. If he takes too long, they'll rob him of possession. He's got to get it and give it a lot quicker.
Now Ndai down the right for Sheffield United. Good pace from him to ride the challenge of McCallum. Back towards Fleck. 30 yards from goal. Fleck picking out Osborne down the right. Low ball across the face of goal. It takes a double deflection as it was boomed by Field into the body of Dunn. And in the end it scrambled away on the far side for a throw into the Blades.
Yeah, good play here again from Fleck. So calm in the middle of the pitch. You know, takes the ball under pressure and just slots it in between a couple of Rangers players into Osborne. Takes a touch inside the area. Tried to slot it across the 6-yard box. Just cut out in time. And they've got QPR pen back in here. All 11 for Rangers behind the ball.
Now Robinson inside the centre circle for Sheffield United. Berger plays a good ball wide towards the right hand side. McCallum gets there first though, and he was cleaned out by Basham as McCallum looked to use his pace down the left, and it will be a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers. And since the goal, they have been the better side.
Yeah, they have. They've settled down. I mean, now they're in no real rush to take things. Rangers, you know, as I say, if they can get the half-time 1-0 up, I mean, that'll be brilliant for them. I mean, the fans, I'm sure, will give them a great reception, and Mark Warburton too, and that could be just what they need.
A free kick which Murphy Mahoney will take midway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half, and it's long right-footed downfield. Looking for Austin, who loses out to Basham in the air. Now Fleck turns into the Sheffield United midfield to find Norwood. And Robinson will bring it forward over the halfway line. But at times it's been rather stodgy and laboured from Sheffield United. But Stevens wins a header above Adoma on the edge of the penalty area. But Queen's Park Rangers will be able to clear the ball away again. And at the moment, David, the Blades have rather hit a brick wall.
Yeah, they have. Maybe they could do with getting into half-time as well, but I mean, you've got to say they started well, but just the goal was sort of knocked the stuffing out of them a little bit.
A high ball forward for Sheffield United, a clever back header from Dunn to play it all the way back towards Mahoney. And we have 30 seconds of normal time to play in the first half here.
Poor Charlie Austin, he's just saying to Mahoney's goalkeeper, you know, pointing to Sanderson, his right central defender, give it to him, and basically Mahoney's gone, no, I'm giving it to you, and Austin's like, well, you know, what do you want me to do with it? To be honest, he does win the flick on there, but it's picked up by Sheffield United. I mean, you can see Austin wants them to play out, but at times they just don't look comfortable doing so, Rangers.
And there will be a minimum of 2 added minutes here at the end of the first half at the Kine Prince Foundation Stadium on TalkSport 2. Sheffield United a goal down in their pursuit of a playoff place, and on the balance of play, until Charlie Austin scored, they were the better side, but since then they've rather been left stunned. Here is Robinson back towards Egan, and a large travelling support from South Yorkshire. Are rather quiet. Egan again with a high ball forward up towards the edge of the penalty area. Sanderson tangling with Gibbs White, but it breaks through Stevens down the left. A low ball cut behind everybody from the left, and it's cleared away with a back heel from Gazelle and a ball forward from McCallum. And Austin turns and plays another crossfield ball from left to right, looking for Adoma, headed away though by Stevens. Adoma tries to win it back, but it's Stevens who comes away with the ball. Now Fleck again for Sheffield United, playing a 1-2, but it doesn't find him the return ball. It's picked up by Amos. Here is Adoma again, looking to use his pace on this near side. The two veterans, Adoma and Austin, combining for the goal so far for Queen's Park Rangers. McCallum on the left, infield towards Chair, and the tempo from Queen's Park Rangers has stepped up markedly since the goal. Lovely turn now on the far side from Chair to evade Basham. He can break into the penalty area. Has Austin in support, but he fires in the shot. It's blocked. Johansson towards the edge of the penalty area, finding Austin. Shot on return from him. Beaten away by Fodringham. Here is Chair now 6 yards out, driven wide by Osborne. He's got support from McCallum. Cherno continues back towards McCallum now on the edge of the penalty area. Crossed in, looking for Austin with the volley. It's braked in the area for Amos, and in the end it's scrambled clear by Egan. Sheffield United all over the place, and Charlie Austin close to a second.
Yeah, it's superb strike here from Charlie Austin. Right hand side of the area. He's gone for power across goal. Fotheringham. It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It's for you.
It is for me. You say it, Nigel. Go on.
Fotheringham.
The goalkeeper with a good save.
And it's a corner kick, which Elias Chair will take, and that move was all started by a sumptuous turn from him on the left, and then swinging from Chair right into the near post and into the side, netting in the end. And that's half time, and it's been a rather strange game, typical of the ones you get in the final weeks of the season. Sheffield United generally dominating the opening half hour, but they didn't score. Charlie Austin did, heading in the cross from Albert Adoma, and just before the break he was close to making it 2. At the moment, Sheffield United's playoff challenge is on a knife edge. Half time, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 0. Thank you, Dan. And it's Sheffield United who will get the second half underway, trailing here by a 1-0. United in the red and white stripes, Queen's Park Rangers in the blue and white hoops. A reminder of the two sides for you once again. Queen's Park Rangers have Mahoney in goal, a back three of Sanderson, Dunn and Field. Adoma and McCallum are the wing backs. Dazelle and Johansson in midfield, with Amos and Chair supporting the goal scorer Austin. Sheffield United, Fotheringham in goal, Basham, Egan and Robinson the back three, Norwood and Fleck, Osborne and Stevens wide, with Berger, Undai and Gibbs White looking to create. And they have a throw-in on the far side, which will be hurled in once again by Jack Robinson towards the edge of the penalty area. 15,284 is the crowd here as the shot is hooked away from very close to the goal line by Queen's Park Rangers after they failed to deal with that throw-in. Here is Osborne on this near side, finding Gibbs White. A high ball back into the penalty area, nodded towards goal by Basham, and it's a simple save for Mahoney.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was brave here from Mahoney, because a long throw came in. He's seen an awful lot of these. This time he decides to come for it, gets a little punch on it. I think I said at the start, he's not the biggest, doesn't clear his box, it ends up dropping down along the penalty area. I think it's Amos or maybe McCallum just drops back onto the line. I think it's McCallum. A brilliant goal line clearance that stopped a certain goal.
Just over 2,000 Sheffield United fans here this evening, and they are in the school end away to our right, the end which their team are attacking. Darkness has now descended here in West London as Sanderson comes forward again for Queen's Park Rangers, wide to the far side, and Adoma back to Sanderson again, and under pressure he's forced all the way back to Dunn, and then it's cleared downfield by Mahoney, high up towards the halfway line, headed forward by Egan for Sheffield United, and the head tennis continues as Dunn returns it to Egan, who bobs it high towards the edge of the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area. Now Basham with a high ball forward again, and it's headed away by Field on this near side, under pressure from Gibbs White, and it will be a throw-in to Sheffield United, 10 yards or so from the corner flag, and once again Jack Robinson will race forward to take it.
Well, you'd think by now they would, be a little bit reluctant to put this ball out for throws. Rather might as well just clear your lines up the pitch, so it's coming in your 6-yard box.
Robinson again, drying the ball on his shirt. Real distance into the heart of the 6-yard area. Challenging for it was Sanderson, and somehow again it is hoofed away from very close to the goal line, and it will be another throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, just living on the edge at the minute. Rangers, another really good throw. The crowd in, the goalkeeper here.
I think it hit Sanderson on the hand. Flatter throw this time, cleared away by Austin. Dabbed back out wide towards Robinson again, and now Norwood with a high ball to the far post. Two Sheffield United players were waiting, neither could bring the ball down. Amos will turn and clip it up towards the halfway line for Sheffield United.
Well, Amos, it was kind of aimless there. You've got to try and get hold of that and find your teammate. Instead he just hooked it on, and this is relentless pressure. They need to relieve it. Rangers, get hold of the ball.
Stevens now on the overlap down the left-hand side. Low cross into the penalty area. Sanderson gets there first, and just manages to skip the ball behind for a corner, and the Sheffield United fans find their voices.
Yeah, they do. Egan just rousing the troops there and the away fans. You know, they're kicking into them here. And they just need to see this out, Rangers, because you just sense it feels like a goal is coming for Sheffield United.
48 minutes played. Queen's Park Rangers leading by a goal to nil, but under real pressure here at the start of the second half. Norwood will take the corner kick for Sheffield United. Peter Banks, the referee, is just having words inside a very congested 6-yard area. Norwood eventually takes an in-swinger, headed away well by Dunn, back out towards Norwood. On the far side, a deeper crossing this time is flicked on. Oh, brilliant save by Mahoney. It was Robinson with the back header, and Mahoney clawed the ball out somehow, flying away to his right-hand side.
Yeah, superb save. Brilliant, superb delivery in, and great header. And just looked like he was destined for that near post area. Flung himself, Mahoney, fingertip save.
Norwood with the corner, deeper this time. Austin heads the ball away. Bodies go tumbling from both sides. Inside the 6-yard area, Fleck hooks it back into the box. There's real confusion there. Appeals for handball, and then Austin with a foul right on the edge of the penalty area on Egan. And I think a free kick's been given though to Queen's Park Rangers for offside.
Yeah, Egan I think he was just a little bit slow coming out here. Here's another look at this save. Wonderful in-swinging ball, and it's Robinson that gets up, rises highest, looks destined for that near post area, flung himself, Mahoney, fingertip, fantastic, tipped it round the post.
Big moment for Murphy Mahoney, a Queen's Park Rangers fan, making his home debut tonight. And they have used so many goalkeepers here this season. 5 minutes played in the second half. 1-0 Queen's Park Rangers lead on TalkSport 2. But the story in many ways, on the field at least, is Sheffield United in the final playoff place. If they lose this game, or even if they don't win it, then Middlesbrough can go above them tomorrow when they play Stoke City. Chris Wilder could yet deny his former club a playoff place at the end of the season. Robinson has the ball away for Sheffield United on the far side. Flicked wide into the path of Berger. He's challenged by Johansson, and in the end it will be a throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers, and Sander Berger up against his Norwegian international colleague has not really been able to influence the game so far. Now Adoma has lost out, and Robinson will go all the way back towards Foderingham, who has been a spectator in the opening 6.5 minutes of the second half here on TalkSport 2. Still 1-0 to Queen's Park Rangers, but it's beginning to look a very tenuous lead. Here is Basham, wide towards Gibbs, White on this near side, crossed into the penalty area. It's beyond Ndai and Berger, and it will be claimed by Mahoney.
Well, this is, I mean, I don't know what Ndai's doing here. I mean, Gibbs White's got his arm, has his arm down, and as if to say, what are you doing, Ndai? Why didn't you go for this? I think it's a really good ball. Picked out Ndai, made a good run towards the near post. It just bounced in front of him. He seems to just let it go. That was strange.
And you're listening to Queen's Park Rangers against Sheffield United in the EFL Championship, live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's Fun Football. Search McDonald's Fun Football to find out more.
Well, they've started really well this second half, like they did the first. Sheffield United, really bright, moving it quickly, buzzing around the pitch.
Pass is drilled by Robinson from left to right to this near side. Headed infield by Osborne to find Basham. And now Norwood looking for Osborne in space. In the right-hand side, a low cross into the penalty area is bobbled behind by Dunn. It will be another corner.
Yeah, they got into this area a lot in the first half as well, didn't they, with Osborne making those good runs in behind. Try to slide this cross again along the 6-yard box. You can hear the fans. You can just feel a goal is coming here for Sheffield United. This pressure has been relentless on Rangers.
Sheffield United need 2 goals in the second half to keep the playoff race in their own hands, and it's a corner kick on this near side. Another in-swinger headed on towards goal, and this time Mahoney makes the save, and then it's loose, and on the goal line it is hooked away by Sanderson. Sheffield United players are saying the ball crossed the line, but somehow Sanderson got that ball away.
Well, let's have another look at this. Did it come off the post? I think it did, off the inside of the post, and then Sanderson with the clearance. That was ever so close.
We couldn't see that far post. It was obscured by about 15 players inside the 6-yard area, but I think Mahoney may have got a touch on that, and then Sanderson underneath the crossbar managed to avoid hoofing the ball into the roof of his own net. Corner kick which Norwood will take on the far side, high to the far post. Egan heads it back into the 6-yard area, shot on the turn from Berger, and eventually it is in, and it's Ndai who scores the equaliser, and that's been coming since the second half got underway. Sheffield United fans on the pitch to celebrate, and Ndai with another crucial goal in the closing weeks of the season, and the team who have to win are now level. It is Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 1.
Yeah, you could just feel it. You could sense it coming. This pressure, relentless on Rangers. This time the delivery's towards the back post. Egan heads it back where it came from. Couple of little ricochets. They keep it alive. First shot blocked. Falls to Ndai just about 5 yards out. He swivels on the turn, rifles this into the roof of the net, and they're back level 1-1.
Ndai's 6th goal of the season as a smoke bomb goes off away to our right hand side. It was actually cleared by Amos into the body of Dunn, and it ricocheted loose to Ndai 4 or 5 yards out, and he hammered the ball in from close range to equalise. And here is Dazelle now for Queen's Park Rangers, and the opening 9 minutes of the second half were almost complete domination there from Sheffield United, and now they are back on level terms.
Yeah, and they've been really, really good at the start of both halves, really. They got the goal in the second, they didn't get in the first. I think their play deserved. There was, as you said to Dan at half-time, wasn't a lot in the game. I'm sure Paul Heckingbottom would have said that. They weren't far off.
And now they want a free kick, and they are scenting a second goal very quickly here on TalkSport 2. It's midway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. We can smell the cordite in our nostrils here, following the smoke bombs which were thrown onto the field following that goal.
Is that what I could smell earlier? I thought it was something else.
Might have been something else.
I thought it was
earlier.
Dan Windle.
But it's a free kick which Osborne will leave to Norwood and Fleck. And Queen's Park Rangers, having led this game, are now clinging on. It is a corner kick, a free kick rather. Norwood will take it into the near post, flicked on, again a great save by Mahoney. It was a header at the near post from Gibbs White, and Mahoney getting across to tip the ball away.
Yeah, he's hurt himself here, Gibbs White. I think he's still down in the box.
Gibbs White is down inside the 6-yard area, so play will have to stop here while he receives treatment. We have played 56 minutes here on TalkSport 2. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 1. In the playoff race now, Sheffield United are on 70 points, Middlesbrough are on 67. The goal difference is +2 in favour of Sheffield United. So if it stays like this, and Middlesbrough enjoyed a 3-goal victory against Stoke tomorrow, they will go above them. So Sheffield United really still need that winning goal, with Fulham at home to come on the final week of the season.
Yeah, they look such a threat on these deliveries. Superb ball in from Norwood, in swinging from that left-hand side, and Gibbs White gets up really well above his man. He just seems to make a rod for his back, and he tumbles over, lands sort of on his shoulder. I just wonder, is Mark Warburton changing things here? Because if it keeps going like this, you can only see one winner. Mahoney's having a match of his life at the minute, save after save.
And again, you look at the bench and you wonder, what can Queen's Park Rangers do? They've got Jeff
Dykes.
Hendrick, Andre Gray, Dykes maybe to give them more of an outlet. Gibbs White is back on his feet, looking to run off the problem on the touchline down this near side. All the noise now is coming from the Sheffield United supporters away to our right. 1-1 at the Kai and Prince Foundation Stadium. 13 minutes into the second half here on TalkSport 2. Coming up tomorrow, the final day in League One. Gillingham against Rotherham is our commentary game, and we will have all the goals as they go in from the top and bottom of the third tier. 12:30 starts across the board. Newcastle against Liverpool will be on TalkSport on game day. Aston Villa against Norwich is the Premier League commentary here at 3, and then it's Leeds against Manchester City on Talk Sport at 5:30.
Well, that was interesting, Nigel, because it looked like in that break of play Rangers were going to make a sub and bring Lyndon Dykes on, and they put 11 up, which is Charlie Austin's number for 9, and the crowd booed. And that will be an unpopular decision, I feel, for Mark if he does go that way. It looks like he might. And then they put the board down. It seems like maybe they've just changed their mind at the minute, or they might wait for the right time to do it.
Maybe they'll have a phone vote.
Maybe.
59 minutes played here. 1-1 the scoreline in a game which has real emotion for Mark Warburton, but arguably more meaning for Sheffield United, as a low cross into the penalty area for Sheffield United from Gibbs White finds Ndiaye, but his swept shot at the near post is blocked behind for a corner.
Yeah, really good skill here from Gibbs White. Got his sort of defender in his back, does a little drag back, and then I think it's a nutmegs in the end through the legs of field. Fantastic, all nearly. Gets into the area, he's trying to pick out Ndiaye's little tug on his shirt there as well. Just outside the area though.
Corner kick again is headed away at the near post. Osborne will play it back out wide towards Fleck. Fleck coming square from the right, back towards Osborne, and now down the line for Basham, down the right hand side. Basham will maybe think about the delivery, but it's square to Robinson, and Queen's Park Rangers, the home team, are being pinned in here now by Sheffield United. An hour played on Talk Sport 2. 1-1 the scoreline. Osborne wide towards the right, and Gibbs White further on to Basham, crossed high into the penalty area, headed away at the near post. Now Norwood wide towards the far side again, and Stevens with a deep cross into the penalty area, and Mahoney under pressure manages to fist the ball over the top, but clearly a Sheffield United player got the final touch. Mahoney and Ndiaye are both down, requiring treatment inside the 6-yard area, and there will be another break in play here.
Yeah, I just wonder. I mean, he's got to be careful as well, Mahoney, because they're going to put the ball on top of him. If he keeps coming for things, I think it's dangerous, but gets out, jump there. He's not the biggest keeper, as I said, but here's the change.
Charlie Austin is coming off, and he's waving to the crowd, and I wonder if this is his curtain call here at the Kai and Prince Foundation Stadium. If it is, he is signed off with a goal.
He's joined TalkSport, isn't he?
Well, Lyndon Dykes comes on, and there was a warm ovation there for Charlie Austin, of course. Across 2 spells, he has scored plenty of goals for Queen's Park Rangers. Got the goals to get them into the Premier League the last time they got there, and did okay in the Premier League, considering the wreckage of a club which was around him at that time. Well, Mark Warburton has brought on Lyndon Dykes.
Yeah, he just comes alive in the box, doesn't he? He's always bright, alert, ready for things, dropping. His movement's really good, and obviously he can finish. If you give him chances, there's no doubt he will finish.
Both medical teams have departed. Mahoney and Ndiaye are back on their feet, and it will be a goal kick after all of that for Queen's Park Rangers here on Talk Sport 2. 62 minutes played. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 1. A reminder of the run-in and who's got what. Luton travel to Fulham, live on Talk Sport 2, 5:15 on Monday. They close at home to Reading. Blackburn play Bournemouth at home tomorrow, and then they have a trip to Birmingham as Queen's Park Rangers try and come forward, but it's cut out by Fleck inside his own area. Back to Foderingham, who clears the ball away deep inside his own 6-yard box, and then Sanderson has lost out to Ndiaye because Ndiaye fouled him, and it will be a free kick. Millwall are at home to Peterborough tomorrow, then they go to Bournemouth on the final day, and Middlesbrough, as we've been saying, at home to Stoke, and then away to Preston. And what you will take from all of that, David Connolly, is Bournemouth have got a really tough run-in.
Yeah, but
of course they've got Forest next Tuesday.
Yeah,
live on Talk Sport.
A couple of games at home though, so that favours them somewhat, I guess. But the tough one will be the Forest one.
Of course, they came from 3 goals down at Swansea on Tuesday to rescue a point there. Keithan Walk coming off the bench on his comeback, also returning to South Wales with 2 late goals in that game. Queen's Park Rangers have a throw-in. midway inside the Sheffield United half on the far side, and they have barely featured as an attacking force since half-time, when they had the opportunities late in the first half to make it 2-0. Berger simply used his hand there to block the ball forward from Amos, but Peter Banks says it wasn't intentional. Here is Che down the left-hand side. Good ball inside the full-back from McCallum. McCallum with a low ball into the near post, and a stumbling Egan is able to clear the ball away under pressure from Dykes. And Sheffield United again win a throw-in on this near side, and Gibbs White and Undai a very effective partnership at the moment.
Yeah, they've been really bright. I think they've done quite well all game, to be honest. Got the goal. I think their play deserves second half, and their movement's really good. Both got quick feet and they're fast.
Robinson fires a shot in, but it's deflected off Amos, and it will go behind for another corner to Sheffield United. And it's been a really good response here from Paul Heckingbottom's team. They haven't panicked. This is their 11th corner in this game. Queen's Park Rangers have had one.
Well, I think it's the best they could hope for with that strike from Robinson, who's about 30 yards out, left-hand side of what's on the angle. I think the corner's certainly the best result. And this is a similar sort of area where they got their goal. Same side.
Norwood will take another in-swinger. High towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Egan heads it back in field again, and this time it's headed back over the top of his own crossbar by Amos, and it will be another corner again. And Queen's Park Rangers, Dave, they are not picking up the central defenders at the far post at all.
Yeah, completely unmarked. They've gone for a mix of zone one-man markers, but Egan's been completely free twice now.
Corner kick on this near side now for Sheffield United, and again it's an in-swinger, and again it's won by a central defender at the far post, but this time Egan heads over the top. Yeah,
this is what they've done, which has been smart from Sheffield United, is they know that Rangers have an extra player marking zonally on the 6-yard box, so it's a mismatch. Sheffield United got 4 attacking the ball, and Rangers have only got 3 man markers, so all they're doing is bypassing the zones, going towards the back post, and that's where Egan's had so much joy.
Sheffield United with 15 shots on target, or rather 15 shots on goal, 6 on target. Queen's Park Rangers have had 4, but 2 on target, both from Charlie Austin, including their goal. And with 66 minutes played here, it is still 1-1. Sheffield United, though, could do with the win.
Well, I mean, Paul Heckingbottom, I think he's had a lot to say on the sidelines. He thinks Mahoney's taking far too long on his kicks, and he's just pulled the referee over. Obviously, he must have been talking to the 4th official to say, look, you've got to get the ball in motion. You have to tell Mahoney he's got to play quicker.
But they have a throw-in again on this near side. And it's thrown short by Osborne to Basham. They're looking to mix things up. Norwood wide towards Basham again, down the line, looking for Gibbs White, who was in behind McCallum, crossed into the penalty area, volleyed towards goal by Berger, never really got hold of it, a rather tentative effort, and it bobbles wide.
Oh, it's just so unlucky. Superb play down this right-hand side. Basham puts Gibbs White in right on the end line. Here they are. They're just having to go at Mahoney to get the ball back in play. But Sander Berger, I think that's perfect. Lands from him on his right foot, on the volley. He just can't quite sort his feet out in and around the penalty spot and just scuffs it, misses the target. Disappointing finish from him.
Cleared downfield by Mahoney. The midpoint of the second half here on TalkSport 2. 1-1 at the Kyle Prince Foundation Stadium, but it has been all Sheffield United since half-time. And Mark Warburton could be denied a victory in his final home game as Queen's Park Rangers manager here. They go to Swansea on the final day of the season. A match with nothing really on it for either side. Fotheringham plays it wide to the far side, and Robinson down the line on the Sheffield United left, but Undai is quickly challenged by Sanderson, who's had an excellent second half defensively, and it will be a throw into Sheffield United once again. And Paul Heckingbottom has been very strident in his comments this week. Of course, Sheffield United have got takeover talk swirling around them. They're not the only club in that situation at the moment, and he's made the point that those making the big decisions on the playing side of the football club shouldn't be distracted by the takeover talk at such a crucial time as they look to bring in new players and let other players go, whichever division they're in next season.
Well, there's certainly a complete contrast in the urgency between these two teams. This is what Rangers fans, I think, will be frustrated with. It should be them that have the same urgency as Sheffield United, and they just don't.
Berger forward again now, down the right-hand side. Low cross in, looking for Ndai, helped on by Fleck. Cleared away by Doman. Norwood will gather 25 yards from goal. Wide to the right, and Berger once again. Basham is still forward in this attack. Berger wriggles away from McCallum, goes to the byline, in the end tries to jab the cross into the near post, into the side netting, and it's a goal kick.
Oh, it's a waste. I mean, I just wonder, it looks like Gibbs White might be injured here, but he's gone down in the area. I think it's Gibbs White. I mean, Sander Berge needs better output. I think, you know, for all his ability, he doesn't get enough goals for me. And here he is, gets into the area, nice position, drives into the 6-yard box. Just needs a bit of composure to cut that ball back. It's actually Ndai that's gone down. I mean, the way he's hitting the turf here, he might be struggling to continue, Ndai.
Well, there is movement around the Sheffield United technical area, so there could be a change very soon. And Ndai has, on a couple of occasions, gone down and required treatment since half-time. Also scored the goal. And the change will be made, and it will be Will Osula, the 18-year-old, who will come on. It'll be his 4th appearance from the bench. And Paul Heckingbottom putting his trust in a teenager in such a crucial game with 20 minutes to play as the medical team flex the knee of Morgan Gibbs-White, of Ilian Ndai rather, inside the 6-yard area. And it doesn't look too good for him. Well, we have so much European football coming up this week across the TalkSport network as well. Tuesday night on TalkSport, Villarreal against Liverpool in the Champions League. Of course, TalkSport 2 has that massive game in the Championship, Bournemouth against Forest, which is a 7 o'clock kickoff as Ndai heads towards this near side. Wednesday night, live from the Bernabeu, Real Madrid against Manchester City. Arsenal against Spurs, the North London derby from the WSL from the Emirates Stadium, will be live on TalkSport 2. All about the Europa League on Thursday. Eintracht Frankfurt against West Ham on TalkSport. Rangers against Leipzig will be on TalkSport 2. And the change is being made for Queen's Park Rangers first of all, and it's Osman Kaikai who will come on to replace Luke Amos. And Andre Dazelle also makes way for George Thomas, player who's had a run of starts recently in the team, sometime Welsh international. And Will Osula still awaiting his opportunity. Basham with a long ball forward over the top again for Sheffield United, taken down superbly by Gibbs-White on this near side, almost nutmegs field, but Dunn is there to help him out and clear downfield again. Now Basham all the way back towards Robinson. Robinson executes a Cruyff turn under pressure there from Thomas, and in the end Berger has been failed by Dunn, and it will be a free kick for Sheffield United with 18 minutes to play here.
Yeah, lovely little spin away there and turn from Berger. Got to be careful, Rangers. Another foul, free kick given away, and you know this will be ending up close to their 6-yard box in a second. Giving too many of them away. Cheap free kicks.
19 shots now in the game for Sheffield United. The Queen's Park Rangers 4, but it's still 1-1. Fleck square towards Norwood, swept high into the penalty area. Basham with the header across the face of goal, and it's headed in, and Sheffield United have turned things around, and there are huge celebrations here. It is Robinson with the header, arriving late once again. The fans are on the pitch, and no wonder, because that is such a crucial goal for Sheffield United. An excellent set piece, and Robinson was there to finish off only his second goal of the season, but what a crucial goal. It is Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 2.
Well, this is deja vu, because in the other game, the home game, they did a set piece that they worked on. They changed it around, were really bright and creative, and they scored from it, and they've done basically the exact same thing here. Fleck faked to put the ball in the box. Norwood dropped outside the area, received a square pass from Fleck. He spun it over the top into the box to Chris Basham, and he headed it back across goal to Robinson with a fantastic flying header. But let me tell you, 10 out of 10 for that. Work on the training ground, being creative, ways to break a team down. They've done it twice to Rangers now. They broke their hearts, but brilliant play. Really, really clever, creative, finding a way to win a game of football from a simple set piece. Superb.
And that could break the hearts of the teams chasing Sheffield United as well. 16 minutes to play. They now lead by 2 goals to 1. Will Asula is about to come on for them, and it's Ilian Ndiaye who goes off. And it's been such a dominant performance from Sheffield United in the second half. They came out a goal down under real pressure, and so far they've delivered. Now Sanderson on the far side, clips it down the line, headed away by Egan. And will the mindset of Sheffield United now change?
I don't think so. I mean, I was just going to touch on before we broke off a little bit about the sense of urgency in Sheffield United's play. When the ball's gone out for a throw, they passed it in quickly, and Rangers just slowed things down, and that would frustrate me as a player if I was a Rangers player, knowing I've got nothing to play for and a fan here. Whereas Sheffield United have, and they've approached the second half with the bit between their teeth, got their 2 goals. And as we said at half time, wasn't a lot in the game. I don't think Boykin would have said too much. They've done that much wrong, apart from just to keep going and we'll go again and start with the same sort of tempo and urgency, and they've done that. They've got their 2 goals. The second one was superb.
More stewards are heading across to the right hand side as Sander Berger goes down with a head injury. We did have pitch invaders following both of those goals. Clearly the excitement too much for some people, but this is such a big game for Sheffield United. Asula has taken his place up front alongside Gibbs White. And Sheffield United, who trailed at half-time, now have 14 minutes to try and see this game out. And they will remain in pole position to finish in the playoff places. A victory here tonight, they go level on points with Luton, who of course are in action on Monday live on TalkSport 2 at Fulham. 5:15 kickoff following our double header from League 2. Salford Mansfield at 12:30. Port Vale are taking on Newport at 3 o'clock.
Well, it gets to this stage of the season, Nigel, and you think, what else can you do that's different? To find a way to win on these routines. I mean, in the home game, when Ollie Norwood scored from their corner routine, they spoke after about how they worked on it. We thought about changing, little position things, because they knew QPR would have watched and known what we were going to do. That one was superb, so creative, square pass across the box to Norwood. It drops out of the pressure area, spins it on the opposite side diagonal into Basham, header back across goal. It's just, it couldn't have worked out any better. You might practice that maybe, and I'm sure they might have tried it 3 or 4 times on the training ground, and you hope it comes off as well as that. That was executed superbly.
And after 6 away games without a victory, it may have all come right for Sheffield United here tonight. 77 minutes played, they lead 2-1. All the noise is South Yorkshire noise inside the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium. Queen's Park Rangers' dispiriting finish to the league season is set to continue. It will be only 3 wins in 17 games, as Mahoney's clearance on this near side goes straight out of play, and Mark Warburton turns away, head bowed. And we've seen brief glimpses of why Queen's Park Rangers contended this season, as the low ball is played into the area for Berger. Shot on the turn from Gibbs White is blocked by Sanderson. Osborne finding Berger again down the right. Low cross in is blocked in the end by Dunn. It will be another corner. But this second half from Queen's Park Rangers just shows really why they haven't made the playoffs.
Yeah, although, you know, we yes, but I would say in this game, I think we saw a spell when they scored about 10 or 15 minutes when, you know, they were...
That's 10 or 15 minutes, isn't it? That's the whole point. They've got it in flashes, haven't they, recently?
Yeah, but apart from that, that's it.
Corner kick on this near side again for Sheffield United. High towards the far post, it's headed towards goal again. It was a deflected header and it's gone behind for another corner. Egan was rising and Sanderson managed to just cut off his run to concede the corner. And we have seen so many set pieces, so much pressure from Sheffield United in the second half. And if they can take this sort of spirit into the playoffs, they will be a team to contend with.
Yeah, just looking at how they're lining up, you see, because Rangers have the zones, you know, Sheffield United got a 4v3 and then you got to run on someone.
Corner whipped in again, headed away by Field, bobbed back into the penalty area by Fleck, volley towards goal by Egan, blocked by Dunn at the near post, and it will be another throw-in. And Sheffield United have been relentless in the second half.
Well, they can afford now to take their time on these throws, which they will. They'll set it up right. Whether they'll throw it in the area as often, we'll have to wait and see. Now they've taken this one short.
Gibbs-White, super shove over McCallum, but no free kick given. And support from Osborne on this near side. Gibbs-White then goes down. A couple of challenges come in, and it will be a free kick to Sheffield United wide on the right.
Just need to keep their composure here, QPR, because it's another free kick, needless, that they've given away. And this is where they got their goal. They should have learned by now. They've had 2 goals against them, conceded 2 from set-piece situations. They are giving another stupid foul away.
Sheffield United currently 5 points clear of Middlesbrough in the final playoff place. Borough will have to win tomorrow to take the race to the final day. And it will be a free kick for Sheffield United here as they look to finish things off. They're now only a goal behind Luton, level on points with them. Luton currently in 5th place, and of course they travel to Fulham on Monday. Tough game for them. Norwood with the free kick again. It's high to the far post. It's another free header for Egan, and it's deflected off the shoulder of Dunn behind for a corner.
Yeah, I mean, they're lucky. Dunn
Sooner or later they'll work this out, won't they?
Yeah, yeah, probably not. I mean, he's completely unmarked. It just comes back to how they're marked. You know, different size, different setups, right? You know, yeah, at the minute, Sheffield United, obviously the Blades have got the better of them. I mean, look, Elias Cherry's just come over to Mark Warburton. I'm sure there's a message going back on. Maybe they're going to put another man out there, a man mark, and go 4v4. Have to wait. Yep, there you go. He's put Dykes.
I didn't think it would be Elias Cherry doing that, though.
No,
he's pointed Dunn towards that.
Sorry, Dunn, yep. I mean, it's taken this long. It's too long.
Norwood with a deeper corner this time, and it evades everybody as it's swept high across the penalty area, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And we have 8.5 minutes to play here on TalkSport 2. 2-1, Sheffield United lead, having come from behind in the second half, and they will be in pole position to make the playoffs. And they've won the ball back again, high up the field, driving forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Here is Berger with a low shot, saved at the second attempt by Mahoney.
Gibbs-White should have had it earlier. I mean, I don't know why Fleck takes so long on this. He pulled out into this sort of right-hand side of the box. Just give it to him, slide him in. Instead, Fleck took too long, gave it to Berg. He never really looks like scoring at the minute, Berg. Strike from about 22 yards out.
Sander Berger with 4 goals this season. The goals have been shared around, of course. Billy Sharp, the top goal scorer, but he may not be around in the closing games of the campaign for Sheffield United. Of course, Ollie McBurney remains on the sidelines. His move from Swansea has never really worked for them in the long term.
I just wonder as well, Nigel, you know, it takes obviously the manager to call a player over to get another message on to change how we mark. Right, so rather than have 2 players in a zone and being outnumbered 4v3 with our man markers, we've only got 3 man markers against 4 Sheffield United huge players. Rather than someone on the pitch changing that themselves, why doesn't Jimmy Dunn go, you know what, I'm going to get hold of John Egan, I'm going to stop him getting a run. You know, he's had 3 headers, but they don't. These are, sorry, Nice, am I pulling you down? I'm just demonstrating, yeah.
I tell you what, VAR would have had a look at that. You'll be got off the field. But no, you're right. I mean, but maybe the brains are scrambled collectively for Queen's Park Rangers because they've been so deep, because they've been under so much pressure.
Oh, you also need leadership out there. It can't always come from the manager. Great players and that take responsibility themselves. Right, it's not put me standing in a zone. If they keep bypassing me, I know I'll go, Mama, I'm going to pick up Egan, or someone else do that.
Well, Queen's Park Rangers have won a throw-in on this near side as they look to attack. McCallum with a cross high into the penalty area, headed away and volleyed towards goal by Kaikai. Flicked on by Dunn, off the crossbar. Jimmy Dunn so close to an equaliser. Here is Field. Now Kaikai down the right-hand side, back towards Field again. He digs out the cross, nodded towards goal by Dykes, headed away by Egan, and Fleck will hook the ball clear. Kaikai though will win it back, and he's challenged by Stevens. The home crowd want a free kick on the far side. Nothing's been given, and Sheffield United will try and break the Gibbs White, but the ball runs out of play, and with their first chance in the second half, in the 84th minute, Jimmy Dunn almost equalises.
Oh, it's so close here. The ball just pops up, a couple of ricochets. He just helps it on Dunn, and it was destined for that top corner. Fotheringham didn't know too much about it. Crash back off the bar.
Adoma now looking to cross in, but the ball evades him and goes behind, and it will be a goal kick as Queen's Park Rangers fans look to leave. A number of stewards begin to ring the playing area now. Of course, it's the final home game of the season for Queen's Park Rangers. I wonder if they'll have a lap of appreciation at the end of the game as Basham is down inside the Sheffield United penalty area, and the home crowd not happy that he's slowing things down.
I just wonder, is this cramp? I mean, I know he hasn't had that many games. I think I saw the game when he came back in against Bristol City. I think for Paul Heckenbotham, he probably will hope this is cramp as opposed to some sort of muscle pull.
Chris Basham, one of the players who rose from League One into the Premier League with Sheffield United, looking to return there once again. And they are just patching him up. He looks to be okay. Takes a swig from a water bottle, and we have 4.5 minutes to play here. Sheffield United leading by 2 goals to 1 in a must-win game for them in the playoff race. And they will have one more game to play at home to Fulham next week. A Fulham team who may still need points for the title, you never know. Fotheringham clears downfield. Sanderson with a good leap, but the ball almost breaks to Gibbs White. But here is Johansson, wide towards Kaikai, down the right-hand side. Adoma is further forward now, into the path of Adoma, down the line for Kaikai, who is caught by Fleck, and it will be a free kick, and the first yellow card in the game for John Fleck in the 87th minute.
Yeah, I think Kaikai just got the better of him there, and he knew he was away. He's no way he's going to catch him, so just had a little swipe out of Kaikai, giving away a foul. It's almost a little bit like a corner, this sort of area, wide of the box, close to the sideline.
This would be a sting in the tail after a second half of total domination from Sheffield United. Queen's Park Rangers with an opportunity here to snatch an equaliser very late in the game. Johansson is over the free kick. Much better than a corner down the right-hand side. Everybody forward for Sheffield United. The ball in is headed away by Fleck and then volleyed clear by Gibbs White up towards the halfway line. Throw into Queen's Park Rangers, taken by McCallum. Now Chair down the left, looking to bob and weave into the penalty area, and in the end McCallum has been booked for dissent. We couldn't see what happened down on the touchline on this near side, but had Queen's Park Rangers been given a free kick? It's difficult to see. McCallum has been booked anyway, and I think it may be a throw into Queen's Park Rangers in the end.
Well, Jimmy Dunn's gone up into the box. I mean, everyone's up in here expecting a long direct throw in the area.
Throw in for Queen's Park Rangers, which McCallum will take into the near post. Headed away though by Basham. But quickly won back by Chair as Queen's Park Rangers chase the game here late on. The high ball in though has been dropped by Fotheringham. No free kick given. Hooked away by Stevens to the far side. And it's a throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers. And the big finish is coming from the home side. Adoma now from the throw-in. Crossing in from the right again. Dykes rising with a header. Under pressure. Headed away with Fotheringham way off his line. Now Chair on the left-hand side, finding McCallum. A low cross in, headed away again, this time by Norwood. Johansson scoops it into the penalty area. Sheffield United just get a boot in. And here is Kai now, out on the right-hand side. And it's belatedly a grandstand finish from Queen's Park Rangers in the 90th minute. Here is Adoma now. Oh, and he allows the ball to drift away, out for a throw-in. There's almost a wrestling throw. Robinson on Johansson on the far side, and the referee Peter Banks will have to sort this out.
Yeah, something went
off there.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it looked like as Adoma tried a little skill that he got wrong, tried to throw his leg over the ball, and instead his heel knocked it out of play. But it looked like Johansson made a little run, little dart into the corner, and was maybe dragged back here. Not too sure, possibly by Robinson. Yeah, he's talking to those two. Give him a little warning. Well, maybe a yellow card as well. Yeah, yellow card for Robinson.
At the moment, Jack Robinson is the match winner, but he receives the yellow card. We're watching on our monitor here. And, well, Johansson was thrown over his shoulder.
Yeah.
In the end, he was pulled away by Fleck. And it's a throw-in which will be taken by Sheffield United, and we are into added time here at the end of this game. And Sheffield United suddenly are having to hang on here, having had so much of the game in the second half. Long throw down the line, hooked in field by Fleck for Sheffield United. Berger. Sula was making the run down the centre, but here is Chair looking for Dykes. Neat layoff towards this near side. Thomas now on the edge of the penalty area. Rather lightweight in the challenge as Osborne is happy just to hook the ball away, and we are into a minimum of 8 added minutes at the end of this game. Long time to go for both sides. Now Berger scooped over the top for Osborne. Low cross into the penalty area, and it was Sula taking the shot first time on the stretch, and it's over the top.
Yeah, it's going to be a change here though for Sheffield United.
Conor Harahan coming on for John Fleck.
Well, he's gone down, whether he's struggling with something as well. Walking wounded at the minute.
Fleck looks to have a groin problem. One of a number of players at Sheffield United who had a long time on the sidelines earlier this season, and he will be carried off here, or at least helped off by the medical team, with Conor Harahan coming on. And Fleck applauds the Sheffield United supporters. And if they win this game, they deserve it.
Yeah, they do. I mean, second half they've been brilliant. I thought the first half they were good as well, up until the goal, and then it took a little time for them to compose themselves. Got to half time, but the second half, they've been brilliant.
It'll be cleared downfield in the 3rd minute of added time by Mahoney. Flicked on by Dykes. And now Chair looking for Adoma down the centre, but the ball will just skip away from him into the arms of Fotheringham.
Yeah, just too much on the pass there from Chair. I mean, it's the right idea, I know, but that quality, that craft and guile, to put people in and around the box, has been missing, certainly for Rangers.
Sanderson plays it wide to the far side, and Kai. Now Adoma, pushed back to the halfway line by Stevens, but Adoma will now try and find Field. White to Kai again. And Field with a challenge, went through the back of Gibbs White, but Sheffield United will continue because they got the opportunity to break here. And it's Berger into the penalty area down the right, cross to the far post. Oh, brilliant goal on the volley. Conor Hourihane, his first touch seals the game for Sheffield United, and the playoff chase remains in their own hands. Hourihane comes on, and what a goal to seal it. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 3.
Well, this is a thunderous volley from Conor Hourihane. I mean, they lose possession, QPR, then Rangers break. Sheffield United break, sorry. Brilliant ball from Berg to the back post, and he was completely free. I was pointing at him about 2 seconds when I put the ball in on a plate later. I mean, he's just opened out his left foot here and just side-footed this. All the pace through the ball, straight under the bar. Fantastic finish from Hourihane.
Conor Hourihane, on loan from Aston Villa, has been through a number of playoff chases in the Championship, and I think he's ensured now that Sheffield United will be involved in another one over the next couple of weeks, because they still have work to do next week, but they'll take so much confidence from winning away from home after 6 without a win on the road. Yeah,
I mean, he's found it hard to get in the team as well, Conor, but he came on at Ashton Gate and he's come on here, obviously got his goal, and that will give him and Paul Heckingbottom and his staff comfort as well. They got the third goal, but also they made a change. One of those subs has come on and scored a great goal.
And the fans beginning to drift away from the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium, those supporting Queen's Park Rangers, because they hope that their team could give Mark Warburton the send-off he deserves, but in the end it is going to be another defeat here. And they've only beaten Blackpool, Luton and Derby in a run which has seen them tumble out of contention for automatic promotion, and now of course they will finish the season in mid-table once again, probably lower than they were last season, which was their first top 10 finish since 2014. But Sheffield United have held their nerve here as Kai brings it forward down the right again, crossed into the penalty area over the head of Dykes, headed away by Basham. 3-1 the scoreline to Sheffield United, as Gibbs White has been caught by a retreating Johansson. It will be a free kick, yellow card for Stefan Johansson.
Yeah, so it should be. Cynical foul there. I mean, I got to say, the finish, it was just fantastic from Conor Hourihane. You know, he was coming through at Sunderland when I was there. We sort of in the youth team, and they had a great youth team. Kevin Ball was the coach. He was in the team. Jordan Henderson was in the team. Jack Colback was in the team. Martin Waghorn was in the team. I did my B licence taking them on my free afternoons.
No wonder you passed.
Yeah, exactly.
Free kick here for Sheffield United, leading by 3-1. And it's pressure now on Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Millwall tomorrow. Really, Blackburn and Millwall probably out of the chase now. It'll be whether Middlesbrough can beat Stoke tomorrow, and then they'll be hoping for a favour from Fulham on the final day when they go to Preston.
I mean, other players might have lashed at this, but he used all his experience here, Conor Hourihane, and just opened his side foot and just punched through the ball. Fantastic it was.
And if they can manage another late in added time, they will go above Luton into 5th in the table. On goal difference, flick on from Gibbs White, almost found a Sulu, and now Hourihane can break again, and he had Berger to his right, but the pass forward is cut out by McCallum. And here is Kai for Queen's Park Rangers. Adoma in pursuit down the right hand side, but Robinson comes across and takes absolutely everything, and it's a throw it on the far side for Queen's Park Rangers.
I think he's just caught Adoma as well. I mean, Kaikai's come on and been good, hasn't he? He's been a real outlet for Rangers down that right hand side. Every time he's got it, he's drove forward with the ball, made a lot of yardage, got in and around the box, and has been a real handful.
And they've got young players, or youngish players, Willock, Dickey, both in their mid-20s, who can make an impact next season. There is something to build on. But that's it. Sheffield United certainly have something to build on here. The playoff race remains in their own hands. Mark Warburton not given the finish he wanted here at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium. Sheffield United coming from behind in a dominant second half to win by 3 goals to 1. And their grip on the final playoff place looks secure with 1 game to play. Excellent second half from the Blades. The goals from Undai, Robinson and Harahan. And it is finished. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Sheffield United 3.